Hello students, this is your plus 1 chemistry class and we were doing that P block elements group 14. In group 14 elements are carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead are present with the atomic number 6, 14, 32, 50 and 82. And their general electronic configuration is ns2 np2. It means in the p orbital 2 electrons are filled. If I write the electronic configuration of carbon, then it is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. 2 to 4 to 6. 2 electrons are present in the p orbital and 4 electrons in the outermost shell. In each element, there 4 electrons are present in the valence shell or in the outermost shell, from which 2 are present in s orbital and 2 are present in the p orbital. And after this, their oxidation state is plus 4 and plus 2. Plus 4 means their valency is 4, 2 electrons from the s orbital and 2 from the p are involved in the bond formation. So plus 4 and plus 2 is the oxidation state. But when we move down the group, then plus 2 oxidation state increases. Plus 4 oxidation state is more in case of a carbon, because it shows it forms a bond in which 2 from S and 2 from P are involved. But as we move down the group, in case of tin and lead, their D and F orbitals are present, in which only electrons present in the P orbital are involved in the bond formation. And that's why their oxidation state is plus 2 and the stability increases when we move down the group. Plus 4 and plus 2, these two are the oxidation states of group 14 elements, but stability of plus 4 decreases down the group and stability of plus 2 oxidation state increases down the group due to inert pair effect. Inert pair effect means in case of tin and lead, like when we are moving down the group. In this case, their D and F orbitals are present. As we move from S, P, D and F, there is a penetration effect which is more in case of S, then D and then F. So as we move away from the nucleus or move from S, P, D and F, their penetration effect decreases. And that is inert pair effect. It means that electrons are less influenced by the nucleus as we move, and in case of tin and lead, D and F orbitals are involved in the electronic configuration and electrons present only in the P orbital are involved in the bond formation. Only lead, is a plus 4 is very in the plus 4 oxidation state is present in case of a lead, and it is very good oxidizing agents. Oxidizing agents means which helps in the oxidation of others and itself is reduced. Now there is some, like carbon is the first element in this 14th group element, so it shows some different properties than the other. Those different properties are, first one is small in size and second one is high ionization energy, and next one is their high electronegativity, and next one is absence of D orbital. So these are the main 4 points कि carbon shows different properties than the other elements within the same group. Small in size, high ionization energy, high electronegativity and absence of D orbital. Except this, carbon shows a catenation. Catenation is carbon forms a bond with the carbon, other atom of a carbon, self-linking. Same way that silicon also shows the catenation, self-linking. It is more in case of a carbon. It forms a bond with the single bond or forms a double bond, and it forms a triple bond with another carbon atom. Next is their covalent radius. Covalent radius of group 14 element is less than the group 13, because in case of a group 14th elements, there is a nuclear charge increases. That's why they are small in size and their covalent radius is less as compared to group 13th elements. Next is the ionization energy. Ionization energy of group 14 is more than the group 13 because due to their size, and ionization energy decreases as we move down the group. In the same case in the other groups as we have discussed, so in this case also it decreases. Next is the metallic character. Metallic character is less. These are less electropositive in nature than the group 13 elements, and this metallic character increases when we move down the group. Then their melting and boiling points, like carbon and silicon, and next one is germanium, they have a high melting and boiling points because due to their solid structure. Tin and lead, they have less melting and boiling points because in tin and lead, as we have earlier discussed, only electrons present in the p orbital are involved in the bond formation. So only 2 bonds are formed by tin and lead. So that's why their melting and boiling points are less as compared to carbon, silicon and germanium. They have a high melting and boiling points due to their solid structure, which requires large amount of a heat to break that bond. And tin and lead only forms 2 bonds in which 2 electrons are involved, which are present in the p orbital, are involved in the bond formation. Next are the compounds formed by the group 14th elements. First are the hydrides. Hydrides are formed when they form a bond with the hydrogen. And in this case, carbon forms like carbon CH4. This is the compound formed by the carbon CH4. Like first one is in this CH4, there is a single bond between carbon and hydrogen. 4 atoms of hydrogen forms a bond with the 1 atom of carbon. So these are known as alkanes with the general formula CnH2n plus 2. If carbon number is 2, then it is 2 into 2, 4 plus 2, that is 6. So next is when they form a double bond, carbon and carbon, that is alkenes. Alkenes CnH2n is the general formula. Third are the alkynes when they form a triple bond. During self-linking, carbon forms a bond with another atom of carbon. In this case, general formula is CnH2n minus 2. If carbon number is 4, then it is 4 into 2, 8, 8 minus 2 into 6. So it forms a single bond, double bond and triple bond formed by the carbons when it forms a hydrides. Same way, siliconite also forms with the general formula silicon NH2n plus 2, like with the single bond in case of alkenes in the carbon case. Germanium also it forms a bond with the another hydrogen atoms with the same formula NH2n plus 2. Same in case of alkenes, in case of carbon. But in case of germanium, maximum number of that N is, in case of germanium, that number is 5. Next are the oxides. When they react with the oxygen, generally monoxides and dioxides are formed. Like I've written example, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Same way, lead oxide and lead dioxide. With the single lead oxide and lead dioxide is formed by the lead. So monoxides and dioxides are formed by group 14 elements. Next are the halides. Generally tetrahalides are formed by the 14 group elements and not forms a dihalides like CCl4. Carbonate forms tetrahalide, carbon tetrachloride. In the first, this reaction takes place in the 4 steps. In the first step, it reacts carbon, it forms CCl, it is C3 is there, then it forms reacts with the 4 atoms of chlorine and it forms carbon tetrachloride, in which single bond is formed with another 4 atoms of chlorine. So these are the physical and chemical properties of group 14th elements. In the next video, we will discuss another chapter. Thank you.